like I said 2 weeks back, today it's very nice that you are giving class. It feels like giving a home program. Not many people, just people we know very close. It's nice like that. Opens up room for discussion. So today we'll be discussing chapter 8, text 15. Page, mine is yellow book, big book, 359. The page is at the sloka is at the end of the page. Everybody on the page? Yep. Excellent. Somebody's come. Okay. Hari Bol.
क्वेश्चन पड़ गया है।
1 minute.
बेस है ना वो ठीक है।
I will take it. बेस आप छोड़ दो, बैठ जाओ।
इसका बेस
नहीं प्रभु सब परफेक्ट है। No, that's okay because it's for me, it's fine. You please Prabhu, you take it. Hare Krishna, please welcome. People said not to start the class, devotees are coming, so we'll just put it on pause. Pause mode. Please don't sit in the back, please sit in the front.
We are going for class.
Acha, all class goers can go. So again, we are reading from chapter 8, text 15. Everybody there? Okay, 8.15. Please repeat after me. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha. First. Okay. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha. Prabhuji, please.
Try your term first.
Your trial is most important. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam
napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha.
Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gataha.
Mam upetya punarjanma
Mamupetya punarjanma
dukhalayam sashvatam
Dukalayama shashvatam
napnuvanti mahatmanaha
Napnuvanti mahatmanaha
sansiddhim paramam gataha.
Samsiddhim paramam gataha Mamupetya punarjanma
Dukhalayam ashashvatam
Dukhalayam ashashvatam
Napnuvanti mahatmanaha
Manovanti mahatmanaha
Samsiddhi param gataha
samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mam upetya punarjanma
Dukhalayam asvasvatam
Dukhalayam asashvatam
Napunivati mahatmana
Napnuvanti mahatmanaha
Siddham param gata
samsiddhim param gataha.
Mamupetya punarjanma
Mam upetya punarjanma
Dukhalayam asvasvatam
Dukhalayam asashvatam Napnuvanti mahatmanamaha
Samsiddhim paramam gataha
sansiddhim paramam gataha. Mam upetya punarjanma Dukhalayam asashvatam Napnuvanti mahatmanaha sansiddhim paramam gataha.
Okay, transliteration. Mam,
Mam
me, upetya,
upetya
achieving,
achieving
punaha,
punaha
again,
again
janma,
janma
birth,
birth
dukhalayam, place of miseries, ashashvatam,
asashvatam
temporary,
temporary
na, never, apnuvanti, attain, mahatmanaha, the great souls,
the great soul
samsiddhim,
samsiddhim
perfection,
perfection
paramam,
paramam
ultimate,
ultimate
gataha,
gataha
having achieved.
having achieved.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation. After attaining me, please repeat after me. After attaining me,
After attaining me,
the great souls
the great soul
who are yogis in devotion
who are yogis in devotion
never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries,
which is full of miseries
because they have attained the highest perfection.
attain the highest perfection.
Purport. Please listen. Since this temporary material world is full of miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death, naturally he who achieves the highest perfection and attains the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, does not wish to return. The supreme planet is described in Vedic literature as Avyakta and Akshara and Paramagati. In other words, that planet is beyond our material vision and it is inexplicable. But it is the highest goal, the destination for the Mahatmas, great souls. The Mahatmas received transcendental messages from the realized devotees and thus gradually developed devotional service to Krishna consciousness and become so absorbed in transcendental service that they no longer desire elevation to any of the material planets. Nor do they even want to be transferred to any spiritual planet. They want only Krishna and Krishna's association and nothing else. That is the highest perfection of life. This verse specifically mentions the personalist devotees of the Supreme Lord Krishna. These devotees in Krishna consciousness achieve the highest perfection of life. In other words, they are the supreme souls. Hare Krishna. I messed up the order. I'm supposed to have been singing Jai Radha Madhava, but somehow I jumped into Bhagavad Gita. So we'll quickly sing Jai Radha Madhava and then our prayers. I don't know why I went upside down. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava कुंज विहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन
यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन
यमुना तीरा वनचारी
यमुना तीरा वनचारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
जय प्रभुपद 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 शिल प्रभुपद
जय प्रभुपद 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 शिल प्रभुपद
जय गुरुदेवा 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 जय गुरुदेवा
जय गुरुदेवा 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 जय गुरुदेवा
ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की
जय।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
Say our prayers before going to the discussion. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, welcome everybody for today's program. Sorry, the order was a little bit jumbled up. Today we are reading from chapter 8, text 15. We already read the verse, translation, and the purport for the devotees who just joined. So, this chapter is titled Attaining the Supreme. Arjuna is asking, he asked a bunch of questions, and to which Krishna is answering one by one, and whatever is coming out of Krishna's mouth is what we are listening to right now. So in this particular verse, Krishna is saying something that he said before also, but he is probably reiterating it. What does reiteration mean? What is the significance of reiteration?
Highlight.
Reiteration means saying the same things again and again. Repeating, yeah.
Permanent impact.
Permanent impact. Anything else?
Underline the point again.
Huh?
Underline the point again.
Underlining the point again. Highlighting the point again.
Solidify.
So if someone is saying something again and again, that means that it is probably very important. That is why they're saying it again and again. Right? That is one. And another thing is, it's the truth. And another thing is, they know that people are not taking it seriously, so I'd say it again. Correct? Sometimes mothers will say to children same thing 100 times. Children will shout, why are you telling 100 times? But because they don't do it, that's why they'd say 100 times. Is that correct?
That's true.
Right. So Prabhu is saying the same thing happens elsewhere also.
Even the husbands are the same.
So,
You have to make so obvious.
Maji just made it obvious.
You make it
So-
very obvious.
So that's the truth, right? So some things when it doesn't get done, Krishna iterates the point. So who's going to tell me what point Krishna is iterating? Or at least so far we have covered seven chapters. There must be some point that Krishna is iterating here again or repeating here again. Anything you feel, there's no right wrong answers. Yes, Mataji, yes.
So I think Krishna is saying that one who takes my name and that person attains the I don't know, I should say moksha, or here it is say Gokula Vrindavan, they go to Gokula Vrindavan and they will
Attains me.
attains me.
Okay. One who takes my name attains me. Okay, that's repeating. Okay, anything else?
I think he's highlighting this is a temporary word, which is
Yeah.
full of miseries.
Very good. Yes.
Full of miseries.
Yes.
The world is full of miseries.
World is full of miseries. Yes. Anything?
So, two things.
Yes.
So one, he's highlighting that the world is full of misery and temporary, so it's not separate. And the other thing he's mentioning is person who has attained Krishna consciousness does not desire not only this world but the spiritual world either, other than Golok Vrindavan. To be in association of Krishna always. That is
Okay.
a desire, right?
Is that Krishna something that Krishna said before?
Krishna said before
Okay.
that that is a desire, right?
Hmm.
Because we have talked about Brahma Jyoti, and we have talked about people who don't want to be there in that realm. They want to be Krishna only.
Right. We discussed that 2-3 verses back. Correct. So what I felt is, one thing that I felt that Krishna is repeating again is that after attaining me, they never want to return to this temporary world. न तद् भाष्यते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकाः यद् गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद् धाम परमं मम. He said that before. That the one who comes to me will not come back again here. One who goes to Krishna Loka will not come back again here. now the question that we will ask ourselves is, why we don't want to come back here? Why would that person not come back here?
So much misery and
Right.
everything here.
Right. So that's what the verse is saying. Is so much. It is full of miseries. So, but see now, written word is one thing, but how do we understand miseries? Like we are all saying it's miseries, correct? All are saying miseries. I'm saying, you're saying, everybody's saying. But what are the miseries? Why is it a misery?
Too much snow.
No,
Yes.
that's right. It's one part.
It's a actually very valid point.
Yeah.
It is too much snow. Too much snow is very painful. Although many of us have been living in double-digit years in this country, but it's still we are still not adjusted to it.
I complain every day.
Right?
No.
Correct. So what else is a misery?
Sickness, pain.
Sickness, pain.
Birth, old age,
Birth, old age,
disease.
disease, death.
Yes.
Donald Trump.
Yes.
Old age.
Yes.
Tariffs.
Everything is a problem. Everything is a problem. When you start saying everything is a problem, if you see, the Bhagavad Gita says 3 types of miseries. What are the 3 types of miseries? One is the misery that is caused by other people to us.
Yes.
One is the misery that is caused by nature. Earthquake, snow, typhoon, cyclone, cold, hot, heat, all of that. And another is the misery that we cause ourselves, caused by ourselves, by our mind, all of that sort of stuff. If you look at it and if you closely analyze, all 3 miseries are attacking us simultaneously, right? Snow is falling, we don't want to go out of the house, but we are forced to go out of the house, correct? We are forced to go to work. We don't want to, but we are forced to, right? When we are going out, the snow is by nature. It's not in any of our control that we can put less snow today, more snow tomorrow. We don't have that control, or no snow at all for that matter. And then we are forced to go out to work, whatever they may be. When we don't want to, against our wishes, we are going. And when we are going against our wishes, our mind is getting frustrated and we are causing problems to ourselves. When the mind is frustrated, we are not in a good mood, right? Then when we go and interact with some people, someone will say something that will also affect us. And this is happening on a daily basis, right? So, but these are sub-miseries. These are miseries. But why is Krishna saying that this world is full of miseries? What is that one point? So Prabhu mentioned the root point is that this world consists, and Prabhupada's first line, he says, which is full of miseries of birth, old age, disease and death. When you were born, all of these other miseries that we just discussed right now is there. But the biggest misery, the root misery is this, the old age, birth, death, old age, disease. Now if you have to explain birth, the people who are giving birth, the mothers and the parents and all. So when the news comes that the woman is pregnant, that or this family they're expecting a child, everybody is happy around. Everybody is glowing and everything. And then they have what shoot is it called? Pregnancy shoot or pre-pregnancy? Some shoot, something. Baby shower, and then there is some shoot also. If I'm not wrong, there is a photographing session. I don't remember it, but if you see, if you have ever attended, and then there is only ladies only program also. If I'm not wrong, I think that is baby shower, right, Mother? Baby shower. Okay. So, people are excited. Pink balloons are bursting, blue balloons are bursting, cakes are bursting, but inside, Shastra is saying child is crying. It's not easy to stay inside the mother's stomach. It's not a VIP suit, right? It is an enclosed, completely enclosed place. It's like the place is like whatever the size of the baby is, that is the size of the cage. The baby can only rotate in an axis. It can do nothing else. It cannot stretch. If it wants to stretch, sometimes after when we're too tired, we go like this. We try to stretch our arms and body. The baby cannot do that. The baby has to sit like this, bent, folded like a bow position for 9 months, right? 9 months or so, it has to stay. If the mother likes to eat some very pungent food, sometimes it happens, no? When the mother is, she wants to eat something spicy, something pungent, something salt, something sweet, any of this will go inside and burn the skin of the baby or cut through the skin. So there are worms growing inside the stomach. The worms will go and they will also bite the child, right? Sometimes now we might think that that might not be a big deal, but if you think about it, if a mosquito or a honeybee or whatever that is bites us, there is pain for us. It may not be very crazy pain, but for a baby that has not developed and not matured yet, that pain is very, very painful, very painful. Bhagavatam says, I don't know if it's the third or the fourth canto, that although the baby's consciousness is not developed, the child's consciousness, soul's consciousness, it's not called not developed, it is covered, the consciousness is covered, it can still feel all the pain, right? The mothers sometimes would, I have seen, I remember when I was in grade 11, I was in my high school over here. We used to have a physical education teacher, and she was pregnant, and then she would do rock climbing at like 5th or 6th month. We were thinking, my God, at that time I was like praising her. I was like, oh my God, look at her. I can't even climb 2 steps, and she's like going up and down like a monkey, right? Like she's so good. But now I'm thinking, I mean, after going through all of these, I'm thinking, I don't know what they're thinking when they're doing that, but inside the baby is suffering so much. When the baby comes out, how much careful we are. We make sure that the warm towels are there. We make sure the blanket is wrapped properly. But when it's inside the stomach, we don't take that much precaution, and the baby is actually suffering. Therefore, the birth is considered to be a misery. If 9 months is a misery, coming out of the mother womb, the process of coming out of the mother's womb is even more miserable. It is so miserable that at the 7th month, Bhagavatam is saying that the baby is praying to the Lord fervently. He said, I have made a big mistake coming into the mother's womb. I cannot tolerate this pain, this dark space, and so many things are constantly pinching me, biting me. I will never repeat this mistake. Please take me out from here. After I come out from here, I will take your name forever. This is the prayer of the baby. The prayer of the the prayer of the soul is that kindly take me out from here. At the 6th and 7th month, he or she cannot, the soul cannot tolerate the pain. Kindly take me out from here. After I come out from here, I promise that I will take your, I'll pray to you, I'll pray to you, I will fall at your lotus feet, I promise. But exactly at the time when the baby is coming out of the womb, we all know how painful it is, and whatever the process is and how it is. A sizable baby has to come through a very small opening, and it is said that one of the vayus, one of the airs within the body gives such a big hit onto the baby that the baby is unconscious, and the second it comes out into this world, it forgets all the promises it's made to the Lord. It's gone. It's forget. It screams loudly. It screams, whether it screams in happiness, whether it screams in relief, we don't know, but it screams. After that, somebody will come and somebody will say, oh, cute baby, the baby will smile. Nurse is saying something, smile, a full smile. It's forgotten the promise that is given to the Lord in the womb. After praying fervently, the Lord will grant the wish. Okay, fine, we'll take you out. Right? But after it comes out, no Krishna, no nothing. All forgotten. Right? So birth is a misery. It's definitely a misery. Misery that we have forgotten. We don't have memory of what it is. We'll never have. So the Bhagavatam is also saying that if the memory was given that this is the pain that we're suffering in the womb, never again we want to be in that position ever. Right? But it doesn't give. It is you can say the very compassionate, merciful nature of the Lord that we're not given the pain, the remembrance of the pain. Right? Some things are better to be forgotten, like they say. Right? Birth, death, old age, disease. I am live example of disease. I am telling you, I never thought disease was a painful thing. Never thought. Because in youth, who thinks about disease? Right? Who thinks about disease? Who thinks about pain? If I have to give you my own example, 30 plus years, I never, in my family, my sister, my parents, I'm watching them, right? They get sick, they get flu, they go down. My sister suffered through so many of illnesses, like throughout her life. But I was the only shining candle in the family who never got into any sorts of disease. And even if I did get, I just wake up like that. So disease never affected me. I think I was sort of proud of it also, that I'm like made of steel or something. But recently COVID came, I got COVID, etc., etc. After that, I developed these asthmatic problems, and then I realized that what is the value of what is Krishna, Hare Krishna. What is the value of breathing? What is the I you don't sometimes you don't value these things that are just there, like like our arms and legs are moving freely, we're breathing, all of this sort of stuff. So when you have asthmatic problems, you cannot. I didn't know I met people with asthmatic problems, but I didn't know it affects so much. You cannot breathe, you cannot sleep properly, and if you don't sleep properly, you're frustrated the next day, you're tired all the time, you cannot concentrate, you cannot focus on a subject matter. So then, this point of, this place is full of misery. It is misery, right? Little bit health weakness here and there, little bit body shake. It doesn't have to be as bad as cancer. It doesn't have to be as bad as, I don't know, whatever other very, very harsh diseases are there. Simple diseases, simple cold, flu, or you slip down the staircase, few bones are broken, pain, right? If you get a headache, some people get like severe headaches, migraine headaches. I don't know if anybody has experienced, but I've seen people who get migraine headaches. You cannot talk to them. So painful. Everybody in this room, outside this room, anybody who's born on this planet has to undergo disease in some form or the other. There is no person alive or gone or before or future who will not experience disease. Can anybody say that they've never experienced disease? Couple of years back I could say that. But now I'm not going to say that. So everybody has undergone something or the other. It's very painful. So that is disease. Old age. I don't have to, I cannot say on this, but definitely by experience I can say. Huh? Yes, you can say that. Old age is very painful, right? Mentally painful, emotionally painful, physically painful. In terms of health, it is painful, right? Right now, we are whole heart, hale and healthy. I'm talking about the young ones, right? We are moving around, everything is all great. But when we reach a certain age, whatever that age may be, old age is different for different people. Some people feel old age at 40. Yeah? If they are 2 bags from no frills, they cannot lift. For that, they need to put it in a trolley, push the cart. Unfortunate condition. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's unfortunate condition. So, at old age, when we are young, 10 bags, like we'll be lifting like that and throwing it, lifting tables, putting it from here, there. When you're old age, you cannot lift one cup like this. Hand will be shivering. Have you seen your grandparents, right? Hand will be shivering. That person who used to barge like a lion, walk like a lion, has become a mouse, right? Legs are shivering, hands are shivering, brain is not working. Brain to hand coordination is not there. Sometimes we cannot control our, daily emotional activities and all of that. So much pain is there in old age. One very great devotee by the name of Kulashekar Alvar said this, prayed to Krishna in this way. He said, Prana prayana samaye kafavata pittai kantha varodana vidau smaranam kutaste. Krishna tvadiya padapankaja panjarantam adheva me vishatu manasa rajahamsa. Krishna, I am praying to you. What I am praying to you, that please take me to your lotus feet. And he's a king. Kulashekara is a king. He's a king from southern India, many thousand years back. Many thousand years back. He was a very great king, a very great devotee of the Lord. And very spontaneously this prayer came out of him. Nothing was wrong with the king. He was healthy, he was prosperous kingdom, very nice subjects, no pain from allies, enemies, everything first class was going on. But very spontaneously said, Krishna tvadiya pada pankaja panjarantam adheva me vishatu manasa rajahamsa. Please Krishna, take me at your lotus feet. I just want to come. Just take me now. But why? Prana prayana samaye kafavata pittai. The bile, the mucus and everything at the time when you're old or at the time when you're passing away, they all get stuck in the throat. They all get stuck in the throat. You're coughing, you cannot do it. In that intensive pain, right? How am I supposed to remember you? Why we have to remember Krishna at the time of death? Why? We discussed this couple shlokas back. Why? To go home back to Godhead. But how you'll remember at the time of death when you're suffering like this? Huh? Very painful. Some people are in the hospital bed. Doctor is applying injection. What is that thing called? These defib. They'll be putting defib, injection. They'll be pulling out blood, putting in something else. So many things are going on in there. But how you'll remember Krishna? Where you'll be coughing, mucus will be coming out. Some people are spitting blood. Very nasty situation. Right?
So much disturbance.
So much disturbance. Then on top of that, there's also fear of dying. It might not seem that we are fearful at this point of time, but when you know that death is coming in like 2 days, 1 day, these cancer patients and all, they tell, no, 2 months, finish, khatam, that's it, no more. That person, when he says 2 months only, you feel like you're dying today itself. Is it true? It's true, it happens like that. But some people also will prove that they're brave in those times also. They will be very busy writing will. This will go to my son, this will go to my daughter. Both are not coming to see at that point of time. Or rather they're coming to see at that point of time because they're going to get something. It's a painful condition. The wife is worried that what will happen to me if this guy goes away. Husband is worried, is worried that if I go away, who will look after her? You go away. It's going to happen. Parents went the same way. Grandparents went the same way. Children are living. Children have married. More kids have been procreated. Generations are going on. And we all know this. But still this concern is there. Why? Because we're very emotionally attached. Dukhalayam. We are emotional. We are thinking this is Sukhalayam. And we are thinking, Bhagavad Gita is saying what? Dukhalayam ashashvatam. Dukhalayam means what? This is the temple of miseries. Himalaya means what? This is the place where there is snow. Hima is snow. Right? Like that, Dukhalaya means the temple of miseries or the place of miseries. Shashvat means permanent. Ashashvat means temporary. We are considering Sukhalayam Shashvatam. We are thinking this is a place of happiness and complete permanence. Tell me one thing that is permanent in this world. Even the sunlight is not permanent. Sunlight morning goes, night it's gone. In winter, sunlight is going at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Correct? For us Canadians, the misery, we know the peaks of miseries. Right? We know. Is it not? We know. As soon as October winds start hitting, you should see people's face. I used to travel in TTC long time back, right? Before in summer, only one shirt and one shorts. People are like talking, spreading and sitting in the bus and all. As soon as October hits, topi is coming, thin jacket, it's November thicker, winter, only ice. You can see morning 6 o'clock, only you can see ice. Misery after misery, misery after misery, right? So, extreme miseries are there. Finally, death, right? You suffer through disease, you suffer through old age, and eventually the death will come. Death is also not simple. But you can question, who has seen death? Who has experienced the pain of death? We have not. So it will not seem like a thing. But since all the three aspects, the Shastra is saying that we may not remember the pain of birth. Okay. But we know the pain of old age and we know the pain of disease. These two things, whatever Shastra is saying, it is applicable. It's happening to us. We are live examples. We believe. Seeing is believing or feeling is believing at this point. So therefore, we can also extrapolate and say that whatever they're saying about birth and death is also true. Death, it is saying that, see, if one scorpion bites, none of us probably might not have got bitten by a scorpion. You have. Was it painful? Was it painful? Well, that was probably like a tame scorpion or something. Right? In Africa. I don't know. But like, it is painful, no?
It is, yeah.
It is painful. The poison may also go inside, right? I don't know how is it a scorpion?
Antidote, yeah.
Antidote or something. Imagine 40,000 scorpions biting you at the same time. At the same time. Right? It is not like Bhagavad Gita saying for the yogis who have given up all these attachments and everything. We have read before, and the soul will travel through. Paripurna Prabhu was probably explaining a couple of weeks back. The soul will travel and it will come to the top of the head through some Sushumna Nadi. Nadi is one of the many nerves, and then the soul will pass away. That's how Bhagavad Gita says. Nicely it will pass away from the top because there is a softer portion over here. Not for us. For us, the soul will be snatched out of the body. And that snatching process is the pain which like 40,000 scorpions biting you at the same time. At that point, if 1-2 scorpions bite, voice is not coming out of the mouth. What happens if 40,000 scorpions? Forget that. What is it? Nail cutter. By mistake, if the edge of the nail cutter goes little bit in the skin, how do we act? We will be crying. If somebody will come and ask, hey, why are you crying for this? We'll give him also one because we are dying in pain over there. Right? Is it not true? 40,000 scorpions, if it's going to bite at the same time, what is our condition? So therefore, Prabhupada says, this temporary material world is filled with this miseries only. Because after this misery, then again, if you are not, if you are still stuck in this world, you take another body, you experience the same thing. The world will, like we have studied before also, all of these, one big pradaya will happen, everything will be destroyed, then everything will be created. Keeps on happening. It's temporary. Everything is temporary. Relationships are temporary. We don't have to say relationships are temporary. Do we agree on this point? Is relationships temporary?
We see this.
Everything here is
Prabhu will not agree because Prabhu is coming from a generation where relationships are permanent. I am in a generation where relationships are temporary. 4 years, 5 years, 10 years you should give them award right away. People hitting 10 years should get an award. 15 means you should start crying for them. Like, oh, they've reached 15. This is the nature of today's world. It's a very sad state of affairs, but that is the truth. I was reading, I don't know what feed I got. Bill Gates got divorced. He's a grandfather. He got divorced like 1 year back. Now he's probably, if I'm not wrong, he's 60 plus, 70 plus, something like that, 70, 80 plus.
35 years of marriage.
35 years of marriage.
And he's got a new girlfriend.
Oh, there you go. That's sad state of affairs right there.
How about Mr. Trump?
All like miserable. Like it's like miserable. See, the reason why many of this happen is that everybody, in all of us, we have a nature to love, and we also expecting love. We may not understand it, but that is what is needed. We want to love somebody. We want to place our love in something. So, and then we try to get pleasure from it in return. Any material object also, it could be. Someone is very fond of cars, so they will try to repose their love on the car. You touch their little bit scratch on the car, it will feel like you got a scratch in his heart. So they'll pretend like that. So there are so many things. People are different things. Some people like, so their love for a partner is there, but afterwards somehow it gets expired. So then they're looking for that same in another place, which is why what you said, they have another girlfriend or whatever that story is, right? So, but the real deal is what we are forgetting is the only permanent relationship is a relationship with ourselves and the Lord. And Krishna calls that person who realizes this relationship as Mahatmas. Previously, in a previous verse, Krishna has said that who is Mahatma? Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan prapadyante. After taking many lives like this, suffering through birth, old age, miseries and death and disease, after going through the cycle multiple times, one finally comes to the conclusion that, oh my God, all of this is nonsense. Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Krishna is the only Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the only person where I can place my trust, I can give my love there and get back that love unbroken. That relationship is unbroken. That person who realizes this is Mahatma. Right? So, same point, Prabhupada is iterating here, that therefore after attaining Krishna, when one person has attained the true In the true sense, when that person has attained the Lord or developed this relationship, then that person is happy. An example is given. Everybody knows the story of Prahlad Maharaj. Everybody is aware. Huh? Nobody is not aware. So, Prahlad Maharaj, all of that pastime happens, Narsimhadev comes, saves him, etc. All of that is great. But Prahlad Maharaj makes this one statement, is there in the 7th canto. He makes this statement. He tells, the Lord is telling, come. The Lord is himself telling, come, okay, it's time up, finish, or everything is great, you passed all tests, you've done great, you're a great devotee, let's go home back to Godhead. But an exalted devotee is not, like Prabhu said earlier, is not worried about whether he's staying in the material world, the spiritual world, or he's going back to Krishna, etc. He's not too worried about it. Why? Because he's developed that relationship, so he's not worried about it. So, Prahlad Maharaj makes this point. He says, Naivod Vijay Pariduratyaya Vaitaranyas Tad Virya Gayana Mahamrita Magna Chitta. He's like, this same, whatever Krishna is saying, he's saying that this world is full of material miseries, right? The people are miserably, they're so miserable that it's unexplainable, that much misery they're undergoing. But, Maya Sukhaya Baram Udvahatom Vimudan. They're miserable, but they're going after Maya Sukha. That happiness that is illusory, right? What is the definition of happiness in the material world?
Absence of misery.
Okay. Little bit more specific. Temporary. Can you tell me more specifically? Temporary is correct. It is temporary. But why are these miserable people after? Why is happiness called Maya, illusion?
Because it's not permanent.
Yeah, Prabhu said temporary. Temporary.
Material things they
Huh?
are putting the law on
That's why it's temporary. They're putting it on material things. The definition of happiness is defined as the time between two miseries. That small time between one misery is finished, then you have some happiness. Then immediately another misery comes. The time gap between these two miseries is the happiness that we're enjoying. Misery is about to come. One more misery is coming. You're thinking misery is done. I don't have job today. I'm crying. How I'm going to pay bills? Tomorrow I'll give interview. Day after I got the job, I'm happy. But when you enter the job, the boss is crazy. Another misery. Oh, the boss got promoted or moved to some other division. You're very happy. New boss came in. Your colleagues are crazy. Right? Some craziness or the other is going on. So, this time gap between two miseries is where we are trying to achieve and enjoy. As much as possible, we're trying to enjoy. But miseries is coming one after the other. Like waves in the ocean. Does the waves ever stop? It doesn't stop. Keeps on coming. Miseries are going to keep coming. But we are, like Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Maya Sukhaya Bharam. We are filling ourselves with this illusory happiness and enjoying and suffering miseries, thinking that this misery will pass, another will come. Like there's a saying in English, the sun will always set and the sun will always rise. So the misery will go and the misery and happiness will come. But what they fail to understand is the sun will set again. It will rise again. It will set again, it will rise again. This nobody is telling us. Right? So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, see, there are all these type of people, this class of people where their thinking is too much, they're suffering here. I will stay for them back in this material world and I will guide them because I've already achieved, I know what is right. So I will guide them to the proper place. So I will bring them. So don't worry about me. Since I have your blessing already, my dear Lord, I will stay here and I will be there for these people. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj is considered to be one of the greatest devotees and Mahajana. He's a Mahajana. And he was receiving very good, transcendental knowledge by his Guru Narad Muni. And therefore, these souls they're able to see, these miseries that we're going through. We also, at some point, not at some point, we should do, we should, what is the word for vimarsha? Analyze. Yes, analyze. We should sit and analyze what's going on, how long is this going to happen? If you look at the graph of your life, it's always up and down. Nothing is like, it's not flat in the positive side or neither is it flat in the negative side. So there's got to be something more than this. There's got to be something more than this up and down. There's got to be some place where we can uh, permanently derive this happiness. So we must, take scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, read it, and try to understand it. Try to analyze what Krishna is trying to say, right? And then discuss. So Krishna is saying, where do you get happiness? Matchitta, Madgata, Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam. Those people who put Matchitta, mind and heart on unto me, Madgata, and also are very much happy, with me. Bodhayanta Parasparam, who are talking about me and discussing about me. Katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Those people are they're quite happy. You will see that if you take many of these great devotees, right? Be it Narsingh Mehta, talking about the great devotees, Sant Tukaram, Narsingh Mehta, the Goswamis. If you look at them, no material possession whatsoever. There are some devotees who had material possession also. Some people did not have even one time food to eat also, but they were all happy. They didn't have proper clothes to wear. They were still happy, extraordinarily happy. Why? Where is the happiness being derived from? It's not being derived from material aspects. It is being derived by the sheer connection they have with the Lord. Sudama, for that matter, is in Sudama's story. We all aware of Sudama's story? Are we all aware, right? Sudama's story is not the story of rags to riches. That is what people have said. Sudama's story is teaching us that how a person with or without material possessions, he's still constantly happy. He didn't have anything, he was happy. He had everything, he's happy. How is that possible? Right? Kunti Maharani is telling in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, she's saying all this fame, high birth, knowledge, all this thing one should not have. One should not have. Because if they have, they will be, ahankara will develop. They will not look towards the Lord. So a person should be bereft of all of this. He should suffer in this material world, then only he will look towards Krishna. That's what Kunti is saying. But if you look at Sudama, he had nothing. And he was thinking of the Lord. And then he got everything. He didn't leave the Lord at that time also. Because he was never interested in that thing. It was just a thing that just came, it will go. He's not worried. That is the real show. The story of Sudama tells us what is the power of bhakti. Right? And that is what we are supposed to understand and try to walk on that path. Even Krishna says, even if you try to walk on that path, you take one step towards me, I will take 1,000 steps towards you. Who does it? Which other person will do it for you? Nobody will do it. Right? Nobody will do it. Neither your boss will do it, nor your partner will do it. You take one step at work, boss will keep saying, keep taking steps and keep coming. He will not come towards you. There is no helping hand. Krishna is the only person who will reciprocate, and who will reciprocate 1,000 times, 10,000 times. Nobody else will reciprocate at that level. No one. Absolutely no one. Right? So saying this, we will end today's class. If you have any questions, discuss.
Prabhu, you talked about Sudama,
Yes.
and great example of bhakti. So is it right to say that in bhakti, like I was reading somewhere there are 5 different types of bhavas you can have towards Krishna. So is it the Sakya bhav he was having, or what kind of a bhav
I
he
think
could
so.
talk about?
I think so. Sudama was a friend of Krishna right from his childhood, right from Krishna's child. Of course, their childhood. They were studying in the same ashram in Sandipuni Muni's. They are classmates. Yeah, they're very close friends. Oftentimes, and now today's day, if it's true or not, it's hard for me to say. But then, in the olden days, classmates ended up becoming best friends till the end of their life.
Yeah.
Right? So, of course, Krishna and Sudama are eternal; they have no end of life. But yes, they are in what you said, in the mood of friendship. Yes, very much, very much. Anything else? Anybody? So no question means the class is crystal clear. It was. Okay.
So the materially passionate people, right?
Materially passionate people, yes.
So the way you explain, happiness is a difference between two miseries, right? and we talked about miseries a lot. So the materially passionate people, they always counter this, saying it's a pessimistic way of thinking
Okay.
or dealing with life.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
How do we explain that?
It's what do you mean by pessimistic?
Like you should always look at life
Positively.
Right.
But where is the positivity?
Like the art of living people, for as an example.
Right.
So they talk about life is full of joy. Look around you, it's full of joy, right? Experience that joy, this, that. I think that's where we are coming to. So how do you explain? Maybe I can answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You cannot explain to them because Krishna, Prabhupada talks about Krishna consciousness is not for the wretched class of man. It's for the highly intelligent class of man. So not to put ourselves on a pedestal or not to put anybody else down, but first somebody has to understand why we are here. Why are we born? Why are we doing? Why is the dog a dog? Why are we not the dog? Correct? Like